May I please have your attention, please?
2022, take it back to '01. Back when yelling "fuck" was shocking and fun. Back when Musketeers exploded onto the scene. Britney and Justin were in sync, know what I mean? Steven Tyler screamed he didn't want to miss a thing. Back when Carson Daly dominated the screen. Back a couple decades before I felt old. Before Janet Jackson had a whole nipple exposed. Whoa. Hold up, whoa Nelly. Dr. Dre is scheduled to be featured on my telly. This about to be the best, there's nothing you can tell me. A heavy dose of nostalgia, no better way to sell me.
Just then, a panic falls.
I think I need to get my friends Frank and Jan and Cole. There's no way it will be better than the TRL show. Kane and DB, hell no. Hype beats so get fed for show. Time to level my expectations still low. They were once real high, gotta make them real low. Hit them with the Dillo. They were once real high, gotta make them real low. Hit them with the Dillo.
And now I know that whenever my expectations get too high, I need to Dillo them. I need to Dillo those expectations. Because what could possibly deliver to the hype that's in my mind? Nothing.
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with DillosDiz. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
Hold on. If you can hear me, I can't hear anything. Hello? I don't know. Oh, you're muted. Am I muted? We're a hot mess this morning.
Should we let's just
There you go.
go for it? Oh, Thursday Live with DillosDiz. Is Jen.
Hello.
I'm Frank, and for the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk a lot about Dillo's Madness because today is the final day to submit your bracket for hashtag Dillos Madness. And the Dillos is my favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania Pool.
Born.
So if you have not submitted your bracket already, you can request your bracket by going to DillosDiz@gmail.com and saying, get me my bracket, and I will get it back to you by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight, so you can be entered into the general public of the universe pool for a Disney gift card, or you can also check into DillosDizResort.com, become a guest, and enter two pools at by being a guest at DillosDizResort.com. The weather day is messing with my head. My sinuses are all over the place. It is disgusting here in New York. So we're very excited, and it only shows in how our technical skills are going this morning.
We're here
Which
to
also says a
entertain,
lot.
Lexi, always.
There's a lot to share the screen on.
Yeah.
And so, technology is going to be fun for the next 30 minutes.
It'll be great. It's awesome. Everything's fine.
Jen, you want to tell everyone who our guest is on the Theme Park Thursday podcast, because we dropped that about an hour ago.
Yeah, on today's Theme Park Thursday podcast, we have our long-lost sibling, Angela Dahlgren, talking about her recent trip to Disney and Universal, giving us all the scoop. We also nag her a little bit about getting back on social media more. So that's that. Also, I am live on TikTok right now. Hello, TikTok.
Yeah. Did you tell TikTok that we messed up the opening this morning?
TikTok, if you've been watching since the beginning, you saw us mess up because I was going, I can't hear you. What's happening?
And so just for added context, whenever it happened, I don't know if Jen had a sick kid or whatever, but right before she went on, she's like, my computer just did a thing. I don't know if I'll be on in time. So I went on by myself. So of course we did not sound check prior
Yeah,
to.
no.
But this was reminiscent of the time that Jen had to leave immediately to pick up a child, and I began monologuing at the top of Theme Park Thursday Live without any sound, and everyone in the chat's like, Frank, read the chat. We can't hear you.
And Frank doesn't read the chat when he's on by himself. He can't do both things.
Can't do both at the same time. I need a mod, as I say
Good
in the chat.
morning, Nate, Lexi, John, Jeffers, Val, Theme Park Rob. Good morning, all.
Listen, we have so much merchandise to make. But if one says DillosDiz, one cannot hear and one is muted.
And that's accurate. That should be a tagline, actually.
Pretty much. I'm wearing my latest offering here.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Where'd you get that one?
That was a TeePublic.
Just shout them out.
I saw people wear it. I don't know if it was when you and I went, Jen, in January, or in the summertime, where I was like, what is that shirt? Which I think is a whole Pandora's box of like, do I need to own a line of t-shirts that are trash can designs?
I mean, probably, right? I would think so.
Is there a trash can, like poly trash cans? Everyone talks about the poly trash cans. We both have Christmas ornaments that are Polynesian trash cans.
Yes.
Is there a trash can besides poly that like really every time you're like, yes, these trash cans?
I mean, I feel like probably those throughout Magic Kingdom, right? Because they're kind of themes for the lands. So those would be good trash cans to have, no?
Yeah, and they kind of have a nostalgic, design to them usually, generally. Like the Fantasyland trash cans, I feel like, are the ones that stand out.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another t-shirt. We can't do it. We can't do it because we don't sound cool if we say that.
No, it's an inside reference if you didn't listen to the podcast.
Hello, Steffers. Welcome.
Steffers, welcome. Lots of Universal talk on Theme Park Thursday, the podcast today. So you'll be live tweeting in all caps. For sure.
You'll be yelling at us constantly.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of other trash cans. Grand Floridian, maybe. This one that stands out because it's simple with the G and the F. If anyone's got any favorite trash can designs, drop it in the chat. So
I mean, I would need like an Epcot one probably, just because.
Like the purple, the light purple, the lavender looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Should we plug Steffers Pod a little bit, Jen?
That's right. I'm biased, but it was a really good podcast yesterday, Steffers, because your guest was my other half, Mr. Dillo. So he spent the hour with Steffers chatting along. If you haven't checked that out, or her podcast in general, you need to be doing that at adventureswithsteffers.com. You can find all the links you need.
I'm only halfway through Adventures with Steffers this week, so I'm not into the deep portion. I didn't get too deep yet. Yes,
Jeffers had been messaging me while he was listening, and then he was like, "Oh, I just got to the sad part." I was like, It does get, but Steffers, that's how we roll with Steffers, right? Everyone gets into a deep discussion with Steffers, so Mr. Snidillo is no different there.
Sounds like a project for DillosDiz Resort. DillosDiz trash can designs. Oh man,
that's true. Goodness. Well, we have a goal. I'm not going to say what the goal is out loud, but there is a goal for some new T-shirt designs coming soon. I'm not going to say the goal, just in case I don't.
I set the goal a couple of weeks ago, which was a reasonable goal. No, is it a reasonable goal?
Which we said, okay. But I don't want to say it out loud just in case. So, even though that would hold us accountable. Yeah, it's fine.
And as we come up with new ideas every week here, especially on Theme Park Thursday Live. You're going, how many things are we trying to sell here?
Which ones? Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you check out Theme Park Thursday of the podcast today on all your podcatchers with Angela. Angela, I think, is the first of at least 3 weeks of guests that we'll have. So stay tuned for that. We're working on a 4th guest, I believe. So
we have ideas of guests. So we're we have
ideas of guests for things leading into the summer, because spring just started. So you got to talk about summer. We're like Epcot festivals here. The one starts and then you see the tweets about planning to the next.
Yes.
Speaking of Twitter, I was like, do we need like one topic or subject? Usually we do 3 here on Theme Park
Right.
Thursday Live, but do we need one topic or subject just to like get us through and then
Mhm.
into Dillo's Madness? Last week we had one topic or subject, which was that last week was the Spirit of Ohana, or was that the week before? I don't even know anymore.
I think it was
But
last week.
uh, as I scrolled through Disney parks, I was like, oh, at Disney parks, kind of quiet on the Twitter lately. I know. I
Mhm.
wonder. I wonder why that is. That you're only doing like one tweet a day instead of multiple tweets a day. I wonder. I wonder why that could be. I wonder if anything's going on that you don't want people angrily tweeting at you about.
Da 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 da.
You know us, and we talk about it on the podcast today.
Mhm.
We try to stay neutral. We
Yeah.
try, neutral to not always the best.
Yeah.
Just we don't want things, impeding on our feelings
Mhm.
too much and affecting us negatively. Everyone struggles enough, so we dance around the things with Angela today a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think in particular, the walkout this week and stuff. That's when things start bothering me when it starts
Mhm.
affecting um, uh,
Cast
people
members.
and their value and not being acknowledged. I get a little much here. So
Right.
that's
Right.
where I am.
Yeah. I think I think during that portion of the conversation yesterday, we recorded the podcast yesterday,
Mhm.
so lots of time to work with, and the 5-year-old was also home during that time, so I had to like cut away real quick to set her up somewhere else, and then come back, and I was like, I don't know what was already said, and I don't want to say the same thing again, so I'll just stay out of this whole conversation. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of da 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 da. I
A lot of that.
just but but I'm also happy that the cast members are speaking up and
Hmm.
doing things and making their voices heard and their feelings known. And I hope that is taken seriously and to heart with the higher ups.
Yeah, and I mean, we're almost a year since they added the inclusion key
Hmm.
to their keys, and
Yes.
so I'm reminded of that.
Hmm.
That this was this time last year that we were talking about that on when we started Theme Park Thursday Live,
Yeah.
basically. But Lexi is missing the topics. I think we'll probably start sprinkling the topics back in regularly next week because we'll be down to 8 contenders for our hashtag Dillos Madness or the Dillos Diz. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania poll.
But are we wrapping it next week?
Should we wrap it
Because
next week? I guess that's the question. Should it go 842 next week, right? It's
right,
because it's the last day of March. April 1st is
right.
on a Friday. Should we
Yeah,
just wrap it up? It's possible, but I still think we can get
we could do
a
some.
topic or two in.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But the topics will
delusions of
come back.
grandeur.
Don't you worry, Lexi, because see, Dillo's Madness last year kicked off Theme Park Thursday Live.
Hmm.
So, due to scheduling and timing and just having this half hour we know about, we're like, "Ooh, we're going to do Dillo's Madness during this time again, and we'll just take over Theme Park Thursday Live. But
Yeah.
we'll be back. We'll
No,
be
and
back.
and as guests of Dillos Diz Resort know that the evenings are hard to come by the last
Yes.
6 weeks or so, especially for
Hmm.
me.
Yeah.
So that is a big part of it. Otherwise, we'd be doing the topics here every week. So there's 16 contenders left.
Hmm.
If you watched last week, we boiled it down from 32 to 16. The week before, 64 to 32. You can go back and watch that in our Theme Park Thursday Live playlist. If you want to watch who the contenders are, everything else, there's a video, the whole thing. We've over prepared this year.
Yes. Yes.
But if you didn't know, and this is all animatronic based.
Yes.
So we have 4 brackets. I have some of the brackets up today. Again, who knows what's going to happen when I start sharing screens and what we're really going to see. But
Yeah.
let's get to it. We'll start with the Magic Kingdom bracket. Jen, you can comment, Surf, while I share the screen.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes, since Lewis isn't here, Nate is providing the foghorn
Oh,
horn.
thank you, Nate.
One of these days we'll get the horn soundbite for our lives, but yeah. And Jeffers, don't give away t-shirt names in the comments, please. Thank you. Someone else could steal it. What are you doing? Lexi is still annoyed she never got a Don't Dillo It tee, which I'm wondering, does Don't Dillo It need to be moved to a trash can tee and just two birds right there? I don't know.
I still have. I
Just-
mean, I have an adapted idea that I wonder if it would work for
Mm.
the Dillo It T-shirt. That I feel like could we manipulate it in a way that the Nike police will not come after us.
Right.
So, do you see Adam's bracket?
Are we
on the
waiting on
screen?
him? We didn't have to wait on him too long
We
for
didn't
his
have to
bracket?
wait on him.
Hmm.
Do
We
you see
can
it though?
Yes. Mhm.
It's probably small for you, but
Yeah.
to review the Magic Kingdom bracket, it was Lincoln versus Tigger. It was Big Al versus Wendy on the plank. It was Captain Jack in the finale of Pirates versus the Hook and Crocodile in the finale of Peter Pan's Flight. John and Rover versus three pirates and a prison dog in the hotly contested first round matchup. Uncle Orville versus Lumiere, Sunny Eclipse versus It's a Small World cast, the Tiki Room cast versus the Bathing Elephant on the Jungle Cruise, and the Beating Heart Bride versus the Gravedigger. So just to look at Adam's choices here as he moves from 16 to 8, he has John and Rover over Big Al. Big Al,
Mhm.
I feel like a little bit of an upset over Lincoln. I feel like anyone who's picking you picked Tigger in the first round. We'll get to somebody else's bracket in a little bit about Tigger, and but I feel I'm surprised by the people not choosing Lincoln past the first or second round here. John and Rover over Hook and Crocodile. That's Adam's eventual winner is John and Rover. Uncle Orville over Sunny Eclipse, and the Tiki Room cast over the Beating Heart Bride, which I might say that's a bit of an upset too. I will stop sharing the screen. What do you think about Adam's picks in the Magic Kingdom?
I mean, not
bracket?
too bad. Not too bad there. We differ a bit, but that's okay. That's what this is all for, right? I mean, we got to see which way everyone goes. It's always interesting every year to see which way people go.
Do you want to provide your picks? Who will be in your Elite Eight, as it were?
Sure. So Magic Kingdom, I was down to Wendy versus John and Rover. I went Wendy. And then I had a Small World cast versus the Bathing Elephant, and I went Small World cast.
Yeah, I mean, right now my 8 overall, I'm like, I guess half surprised by where I am with the Elite Eight, which is why we do these brackets every year. Because as much as I think I'm like, oh, this will go this way, and then all of a sudden I'm like, how did I end up with these 8?
Yeah.
So I have 3 pirates and a prison dog, which I changed last minute 2 weeks ago over John and Rover. I had 3 pirates and a prison dog there at the end of Pirates versus Uncle Orville. Oh, no, sorry. 3 pirates and a prison dog versus Wendy on the plank. I went 3 pirates and a prison dog, and spoiler, Uncle Orville over the Gravedigger in Haunted Mansion. So I got, for the Elite Eight coming up in the Magic Kingdom bracket, 3 pirates and a prison dog versus Uncle Orville.
All right, pretty good.
How the comments doing? I'm going to share the screen.
No, you're good. Lexi just wants a heads up if we do the Don't Dillo It shirt again.
Before we get in trouble.
And Lewis is on a secret mission at Dollywood today. So, elite. Speaking of elite, Lewis is elite.
That's Adams. I'm still trying to share the screen here.
Who will be next?
Who will it be? All right, I want the window. There we go. All right. So over to the Epcot bracket. Well, first of all, let's talk about our friend Pixie Dust PhD, Dr. Jacqueline, who was so angry that Tigger was a 16 seed against Lincoln in the first round. And of course, personal feelings leads to interesting choices. Tigger is winning this whole thing. She's like, you know what, Frank?
Boom.
How dare you?
She's like, I don't even care how the rest of this goes. I'm going to make Tigger win. So there it is.
So the Epcot bracket, it's Dreamfinder and Figment versus the World of Motion Manhole Guy. It was Ben Franklin and Mark Twain versus Michelangelo in Spaceship Earth. It was the Phoenicians versus Buzzy from The Wonders of Life. And to say that the Epcot bracket is past, present, and future. Sweater Figment versus Sven's Tongue Stuck. The Maelstrom Trolls versus the Spaceship Earth Paperboy. And we're talking about the entire time of Spaceship Earth, which Jen will deliver the lines. Leslie, Jen?
Extra, extra, New York Daily. # my paperboy. Not, hey, get your paper. Hey, get your paper. And you don't even see his face. Not that Paperboy.
The Spaceship Earth Engineer versus the Three Caballeros. The Robot Butler from Horizons versus Anna and Elsa in the finale scene. That's the one with the scary faces, some people say. And Let It Go, Elsa. I don't know why there's an apostrophe there. I've edited this document 700 times. Versus the Horizons Underwater Family. And if you want a more descriptive story about the Horizons Underwater Family, go check out our video from a couple of weeks ago. So it looks like here that Dr. Jacqueline's going Dreamfinder and Figment. Sven's tongue stuck, and the Caballeros, and Anna and Elsa. Right, so that would bring us down to the 8, which would be Sven's tongue stuck, and Anna and Elsa. Ooh, she clearly thinks the faces are not too scary, Dr. Jacqueline.
Dr. Jacqueline's not afraid of things like that. Come on. No fear.
So we'll stop sharing.
Yes.
Jen, how about your bracket?
So I had the Dreamfinder Figment versus the Phoenicians. I went Dreamfinder Figment. Then I had hashtag My Paperboy versus the Underwater Family of Horizons, and I went hashtag My Paperboy.
Okay, so I have a Dreamfinder and Figment versus Sweater Figment. I went with Dreamfinder Figment. Got to still include Dreamfinder. And the interesting one of the interesting ones to me here, I went with the Paperboy versus the Robot Butler. I went with the Robot Butler, and I really, as much as I love that scene in Horizons, and I love Horizons, it is really the iconic photo that you would often see in the memorabilia guides, just like the bathing elephant in the Magic Kingdom bracket. That that impression remains, so to speak.
Yes.
So that is where we are there. Let's see if I can. I'm like, here we go. There's too many windows up. Too many windows. Let's see if I can get the right brackets up. Sharing the screen. Jen, any comments?
Nate says the Epcot bracket was fun, and he forgot some of the past animatronics. That's what we do here, Nate. We bring back the nostalgia for everybody.
I mean, I'm going to bring up, I think this is the correct one I want to see. This is our friend from Does Disney, Landon, the Does
L-A-N-D-O-E, please go follow me.
How did you just spell that?
How did I spell that? D-O-C. That's it, D-O-E.
It's the Department of Education.
D-O-E. What? D-O-Z. Don't follow L-A-N-D-O-E on social media. I don't know who that person is. If they exist, don't do that. My apologies, Landon.
All right. So this is the Animal Kingdom and the Studios bracket combined, because we didn't want people to think that we were still AK haters. We've both been to the Animal Kingdom in the past 12 months. I've been there twice in the past 12 months.
That's right.
Still. For a few months more. Here we go. It's the Navi Rivers Shaman versus Bean Bunny. It was Statler and Waldorf versus Hopper. It was DJ Rex and Ogas versus Wheezy. It was BB-8 on Rise of the Resistance versus Kylo Ren when he's operating. It was the Yeti versus Lightning McQueen. Mr. Potato Head in the queue of Toy Story Mania versus the Swedish Chef. It was 3PO on the Star Tours queue versus the Connor Taurus. And it was Hondo Anaka versus Flick, and it's tough to be a bug. So Landon's breaking it down. He had the Shaman and versus Wheezy. He picked one with the Shaman, and then the Yeti versus Hondo, and he's got the Yeti. He loves the Yeti. I knew he's gonna go Yeti hard on this. So Yeti versus the Shaman. 2 Animal Kingdom picks, staying true to the Does Disney. Morning Monorail extension by going 2 Animal Kingdom choices there.
Very interesting.
So I'm going to stop the screen. Jen?
I can't relate to those picks. So I had a Bean Bunny versus BB-8. I went, Bean Bunny.
Bean Bunny with the run. Bean Bunny is the St. Peter's of this year's March Madness.
Then I had the Chef versus 3PO, and I went Chef. Hashtag save the Muppets.
Yeah, Muppets versus Muppets going on there.
Yep.
So I had also Statler and Waldorf versus Wheezy. I went with Statler and Waldorf here. I can't not have Statler and Waldorf. I feel like, and then I debated this one for a while. Maybe it was my toughest toughest choice here in what I had remaining of the 16. I picked Hondo Onaka over the Swedish Chef because I really
Interesting.
enjoy that. I think, to me, and people talk about Anna and Elsa too, but the Hondo Onaka animatronic, I think if I had picked the Navi River Shaman for that long, like I really would have liked to have seen those two like go up against one another in hindsight, but
Yeah.
maybe some people did. I still have to visit some brackets along the way here.
Yes. All right.
We got one more bracket to talk about before we take it over to DillosDizResort.com. Don't forget to request your bracket today. Today's the last day to get your bracket in at DillosDiz at
So angry.
gmail.com. Why am I angry? And I feel like I X'd out a couple of people's by mistake. Let me see what
I'm going to review comments while you do
Thank you.
that. Nate said, Team Robot Butler. Theme Park Rob had a difficult time with anything Horizon since he doesn't really recall the attraction. Dr. Val loved the Robot Butler. He's one of her favorites. She also misses Horizons as much as the original Figment. I agree with you, Dr. Val. Lexi misses so many things that used to be at Epcot. I also relate with that as well. Theme Park Rob came down to the Shaman and the Chef. So those are his brackets.
Well, I've clearly X'd out multiple brackets here today, so I'm going to bring up Jeffers' bracket here for the final choice. I don't know where Lexi's or Val's or Lewis's, I think, or Nate's for that matter, went. I think they're all living somewhere hiding on my computer right now.
Too many tabs.
Too many tabs. So we got the nostalgia bracket. So you'll note that some of Epcot's past is also in this bracket, but these are animatronics no longer with us. And now Sarah McLachlan will sing an in memoriam. The extraterrestrial from Alien Encounter versus Tarzan. It was the Scary Adventure Dwarfs, Snow White's Scary Adventures versus Stitch. It was Gene Kelly singing in the rain versus the Robo Dog. The Timekeeper versus, if you received a bracket in the last week or 10 days, this has since been changed to the Spaceship Earth Greeks, and we kind of encompass as much as they're still Greeks, the scene. I just kind of left it there as nostalgic. Wicked Witch of the West versus Ellen from Ellen's Universe of Energy. Brontos in Universe of Energy versus Captain Rex over at Star Tours. There was a lot of debating about whether or not Captain Rex was still there. I think a lot of people pass out during Star Tours, apparently. And the Evil Queen at the Magic Mirror in Snow White's Scary Adventures versus Mary and Bert on the movie ride. Lots of movie ride representation here. And the Kitchen Cabaret cast from The Land versus Iago under new management. So Gene Kelly singing in the rain versus the Snow White Dwarfs, and Gene Kelly continues to sing in the rain.
Nice.
And then the Wicked Witch versus Marianne Burt. Jeffers earning points with DillosDiz with the movie ride representation.
Absolutely.
It'll be Wicked Witch versus Gene Kelly in the nostalgia bracket finals to move on to the final four.
Excellent.
Jen, over to you.
I had Tarzan versus Gene Kelly. I went Gene Kelly. And then I had Rex versus Marion Burt. Went Marion Burt. So now I got movie ride versus movie ride. Muppets versus Muppets.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough side. Tough side. Oh, it's top versus bottom. So I think it'll be
but so far, But then at some point, I'm gonna have to do some hard picks. I don't. This is why I have to save this. This is like my homework in high school. I have to save it right before we go live, right before I walk into the classroom. So I do this right before we're about to go on because I can't think about this for too long. I start weighing too much. It becomes a mess.
So I have the extraterrestrial over Gene Kelly. Again, it's kind of I probably better what do I want to say, revisionist history a little bit maybe about Alien Encounter. Great attraction, but I think I loved it. I love it more now than I did when it was there. So and then the Wicked Witch of the West over Mary Poppins and Bert. So I kind of see where my final four is going here. So what I got left is 3 Pirates and a Prison Dog. Dog. I tried to stop myself. Uncle Orville, Dreamfinder and Figment, the Robot Butler, Statler and Waldorf, Hondo Onaka, the Extraterrestrial, and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Very interesting there. I like it.
And next week we'll do the Elite Eight, and I think we'll do the Final Four. We'll go all the way to the finals. We'll go from
Cool.
the 8 to the 2 to the 1. 8 to the 4 to the 2 to the 1.
It's too many choices I have to
Too
do.
many
Okay.
choices. But for now, we're going to go over to DillosDizResorts.com for a little post show. Maybe I think we're going to talk about TikTok. I have a feeling. I feel like we've been on a TikTok kick lately.
We have.
That is something, and maybe we'll talk about the other stuff going on in the Disney World right now, so to speak. Until we see you over at the resort. She's Jen. I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.